If you watch television, and I think many of us do, we all go home and we'll turn on whatever streaming device we have. And a lot of times you got 90 gazillion things. The queue of all the stuff you want to watch is queued up. All that new stuff. Yet, what do? We search for an hour and then go back to our favorites. Well, psychology has broken it down to the 4 types of people that watch the same television and movies over and over, again and again, no matter how much we know about them. Let's find out which one you are.
Type 1, the comfort seeker. For these people, life feels unpredictable. Work stress, relationship problems, the world changing too fast. Their brain craves something stable, something safe, and that's where rewatching comes in. Psychologists call this predictability bias. When life gets chaotic, the brain seeks environments it can control. They know how the episode ends. They know the character survives. They know the joke is coming, and that certainty feels like a warm blanket in a cold world. It's not about the story anymore. It's about the feeling, the emotional safety. For them, pressing play on a familiar show is like coming home after a long day. Everything is exactly where it should be.
Okay, so comfort food. Are you number 1? Are you comfort food? So a lot of people, I think, identify with that. Things are crazy, chaotic. You want to go somewhere that you look and say, you know what? All right, I get that. That's what I'm about right there. That's comfort food. Now we're on to dose. Number 2.
Type 2, the cognitive rester. These people are mentally exhausted. Their job requires constant thinking, decision-making, problem-solving. By the end of the day, their brain has nothing left. Watching something new requires effort. You have to learn new characters, follow new plots, pay attention to details. But rewatching? That's autopilot mode. Their brain doesn't have to work. It can just exist. Psychologists call this cognitive load reduction. The brain is like a battery, and rewatching is how they recharge without using more energy. They don't need stimulation, they need rest. And familiar content is the only thing that doesn't demand anything from them. It's background comfort, mental white noise, a way to be entertained without being drained.
And that is me. So I will go home. Like yesterday I went home and it's been one of those days and, you know, it's been long and I've been up since like 1 in the morning, 1:30, couldn't sleep. And all I wanted was nothing. Like I wanted to watch some TV, but I didn't want to have to focus. I don't want to learn anything new. I don't want to learn about new characters. And so I'll put on, you know, like, and Ken and I were talking about this. He's got his 2 or 3 shows that he likes, and it's always a Western in there. And for me, it's Gunsmoke. Like Gunsmoke, I watch Gunsmoke all day because I don't have to focus. And I also can just go, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? That just let it be, not have to worry about anything. And it just, for all the stuff in my mind, it's like it just all goes away, and it's that white noise, and I'll fall asleep to that at times. All right, on to number 3.
Type 3, the nostalgic anchor. For this type, rewatching isn't about the show. It's about the memory attached to it. Maybe they watched it with someone they miss. Maybe it reminds them of a better time in their life, a time when things were simpler, when they were happier. Psychologists call this emotional time travel. The show becomes a portal, not to the story, but to the person they used to be. Every rewatch is a visit to their past self. And even though life has changed, the show hasn't. It's frozen in time, waiting for them. This is why people cry during shows they've seen 10 times. It's not the scene, it's the memory, the feeling of who they were when they first watched it. For them, letting go of the show feels like letting go of that version of themselves. So they keep coming back, not because they forgot what happens, but because they don't want to forget what it felt like.
Okay, I'm not that. I don't get nostalgic. Like I watched, what was that, Stranger Things. I watched the first 2 episodes of Stranger Things and I thought, And nostalgia can only take me so far. Yeah, I like him driving around on his Mongoose or Skyway bike, and that's cool. And I dig the music, but I moved on from there. Nostalgia does nothing for me. I mean, I enjoy the music. Like, we joke about the times, but I don't live in nostalgia, so that's never been me. So finally, number 4, the last of these.
Type 4, the detail hunter. These people don't rewatch because they're stuck. They rewatch because they're curious. They believe every show has layers, hidden details, small moments they missed the first time, background jokes, foreshadowing, subtle acting choices. For them, watching once isn't enough. The story isn't complete until they've caught everything. Psychologists link this to high openness and analytical thinking. Their brain loves puzzles, patterns, connections, and rewatching is how they solve the puzzle. It's not repetition, it's exploration. And every time they notice something new, it's like watching it for the first time again. For them, a show isn't just a story, it's a world, and they want to see every corner of it.
No, I will go into a movie. Obviously, I want to know all the stuff. You are trying to figure stuff out, like I see dead people and stuff like that. That's, okay, I get that. But Christopher Nolan, like, remember Inception? That movie came out. Everybody's like, you got to watch it 3 times. I'm like, first of all, I didn't like it enough to watch it once, but I did. Secondly, no, I don't need to watch it that much. If I have to go through it 90 times to figure it out, I don't want to watch it. No, thank you. That's a hard no on that. That's a hard no. I'm the second one for sure. I want to go home and just let everything just blish, right? I'm not looking for nostalgia. I'm not looking for comfort. I'm looking for distraction. My go-to, it's like, what's your go-to show? Let us know. You can text us. My go-to show is Gunsmoke if I'm looking for a Western, and Family Guy if I just want to just kind of just chill. And the other thing that they didn't talk about, which I'm sure you have to add in now, is one of the other reasons we go and do these things is because we're so distracted. Because we're on our phones half the time watching stuff. So knowing that you don't have to pay attention while you goof around on your phone is also something that's interesting. Because we're always on our phone. I mean, even if you're watching a new show, you'll be like, oh my God, who's that? I've seen that lady before. What show has she been in? You're trying to remember her name. So, Home Improvement, Kindergarten Cop, and Goonies. Angie says, number 4 is Me, A Beautiful Mind. Airplane is like that. Tons of jokes. Big time. Futurama, 90 Day Fiancé. I think Ken was saying his wife likes Vanderpump Rules. She goes, you should watch that in the loop because you don't have to pay attention. MASH. Oh, Andy Griffin. That is it. MASH. Lots of MASH. Law and Order or Downton Abbey. Downton Abbey. My uncle, who is the biggest, makes horror games, does all these, he's Mag, he's all these things. Downton Abbey is his favorite show, and he can watch it. He'll rewatch it 100 times. I'm like, what the hell are you looking for? Bob's Burgers. Right? That's a good one. Fantasia. That's interesting. Seinfeld, that one. And this is the other thing. There is a reason that Netflix and Paramount Plus and all of the Hulu and everything bid for these shows to the tune of hundreds of millions and at times billions of dollars to get shows like The Office or Friends. And the reason is because they know they'll get a loyal fan base that will come and watch, not because they're expecting anything new, but because they know they will have people that will always be that number 1, 2, 3, or 4, that comfort food of viewing, that I just want to, nostalgia, mush, whatever it is. And that builds a huge base for these people. I mean, what is it? I think it was it Friends they were battling over? Because NBC, it was on Hulu, but then NBC, which of course had the original IP, they ended up moving it over to Peacock or wherever they end up doing, or whatever they own, because everybody seems to own each other now. And the battle that was going on there and how many subscribers headed over there because that was their go-to. That was their go-to. Everybody Loves Raymond. It sounds. Are you texting us? Bell tells us I watch Andy Griffin, into MASH, back to Andy Griffin, then over to Everybody Loves Raymond.
Right.
So I've seen some Everybody. You know what's funny? I like Everybody Loves Raymond, but I can't watch it all the time. I can't. It's okay.
That was the ultimate. The husband dad is an idiot show.
Yes. That was it. The husband dad is an idiot. Tim the Toolman Taylor. You know what though? Like if you watch Seinfeld or Tim the Two-Man Taylor, they're good, but they haven't aged gracefully. Where some of the other shows had. Like if you watch something from 10 years ago, it still looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. But I've never been a Friends guy. Friends is okay. If it was on, I would watch it, but I never. And The Office, I watched the English one and I enjoyed it. But no. Rick and Morty. I'll watch the hell out of some Rick and Morty. But I have to pay attention to Rick because Rick is so funny and so fast. It's hard.
I turned myself into a pickle and 9/11 was an inside job.
That's what it's like the whole time. If you've never seen...
I do science.
If you've never seen Rick and Morty, just go watch him when he turns himself into a pickle. It is awesome.
Your opinion means very little to me.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.